Hello and welcome to my Crochet Psyduck plushie tutorial. I will be showing you how to crochet this little guy today. To make him, you are going to need a 3.5mm crochet hook, scissors, a row counter, stitch marker, yarn needle, 15mm doll eyes, yellow yarn, Aran yarn or light brown yarn, black yarn, and white yarn, as well as some polyfill or stuffing. So we are going to start off by making his little duck bill. Start by making 5 foundation single crochets, or you can just make 6 chains and then 5 single crochet. To make a foundation chain, chain 2, pull 1 loop through, pull another loop through, and then pull 1 loop through both. Once again, so just insert your hook into the last loop, pull a loop through, pull 1 more loop through, and then pull it through twice. Do that until you have 5 single crochet, or once again, just chain 6 and do 5 single crochet. Once you have finished making the 5 foundation single crochet, that will be the end of your row 1. For row 2, you are not going to turn your piece. You're just going to work into the top or bottom, whatever you think of it as. So you'll place 1 single crochet in the bottom piece, and place 1 more. And then you'll do it 3 more times, so in total you'll make 5 single crochet on the top of your foundation chains. And then once you have finished the 5 single crochet in this little loop, you're going to place an increase, which is just 2 single crochet inside the same stitch. Then you'll turn it around, and then place another 5 single crochet. And then once you're done with the 5 single crochet, place another increase. Then after that, similarly to the last round, but instead of 5 single crochet, you're going to place 6 single crochet and then an increase. You will repeat this twice, remembering to not turn your work, just to flip it around so you can actually crochet into the circles. And with that final increase, your row 3 is completed. Now grab a stitch marker. And then for rows 4 and 5, you'll just be placing 1 single crochet in each of the stitches that you have created. Just for reference, this is what it should look like when you are done with row 4. And once again, you will place 1 single crochet in each stitches of the round for row 5. And here I am just finishing off row 5. So take out your stitch marker, grab your scissors and cut off a long tail, just so we can sew it onto the plushie later on. And then just pull the tail through with your hook like this, and you are done. And now we get to work on Psyduck's head. So grab your yellow yarn and start off by making a magic ring. And then inside of the magic ring, you'll be placing 6 single crochet. I like to pull my magic loop tight halfway through. And then once I'm done, then I can fully close it. And that is the end of your row 1. For row 2, we are going to make 6 increases. To make an increase, you just place 2 single crochet inside the same stitch, therefore doubling the amount of stitches in your row. So at the end, you should have 12 stitches in the row because we start out with 6 single crochet in the magic ring. And this is what it should look like when you're done with row 2. And here's where I will grab my stitch marker just so I don't lose my place as we gain more stitches in the rows. For row 3, we are going to start off with an increase, so 2 single crochet inside the same stitch, and then place 1 single crochet in the next stitch after. Make another increase, and then 1 single crochet. You will repeat this increase and single crochet pattern 6 times until you have 18 single crochet in the row. And this is what it should look like when you're done with row 3. Now you can just move your stitch marker and get ready for row 4, which is starting off with another increase, 2 single crochet inside the same stitch, and then 1 single crochet inside the next 2 stitches. Once again, make an increase, and then place 1 single crochet in the next 2 stitches. You will repeat this pattern until you have 24 stitches in the row. And this is what it should look like when you're done with the 4th row. To make the 5th row, once again, make an increase, 2 single crochet inside the same stitch, and then place 1 single crochet inside of the next 3 stitches. One more time, make an increase, and then place 1 single crochet in the next 3 stitches. You will repeat this pattern until you have 30 stitches in the row. This is what it should look like when you're done with row 5. Now for rows 6 through 10, we are going to place 1 single crochet in each of the stitches. So row 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 will have 30 stitches in the row because we are only placing 1 single crochet. For reference, this is what row 6 should look like. And then here's what row 10 should look like by the time you are done. Now for row 11, we are going to make a decrease. So pick up the first 2 front loops of the next 2 stitches, pull a loop through them, and then pull 1 more loop through those 2. Then after that, you will place 1 single crochet inside the next 3 stitches. Once again, make a decrease, and then you will place 1 single crochet in the next 3 stitches. You will repeat this decrease and 3 single crochet pattern until you have 24 stitches in the row. And this is what it should look like when you are done with row 11. For row 12, once again, we are going to start off with a decrease, so pick up the first 2 front loops of the next 2 stitches, and single crochet with them. Then you'll place 1 single crochet inside the next 2 stitches. So once again, make a decrease, and then place 2 single crochet after that. You will repeat this decrease and 2 single crochet pattern until you have 18 stitches in the row. And for row 13, before that, switch your stitch marker, and then you will place a decrease. First 2 front loops, single crochet with them. Then you should place 1 single crochet. Make another decrease, and then 1 more single crochet. You will repeat this decrease and single crochet pattern until you have 12 stitches in the row. With that, you are done with row 13. For row 14, you are just going to place 1 single crochet inside the next 12 stitches, or just 1 single crochet inside each stitch in the row. And once you are done with row 14, we can put away our hook and row counter away for now. So you just grab your stuffing and stuff his little head. After that, we are going to attach his bill, or the little beak, and then his eyes, just like how they are done with this already made Psyduck. Right here is around the place that I try to sew on his little beak, just like on the bottom, but not too far down, if that makes any sense. Grab your yarn needle, get the tail of the beak, and then stick it through the yarn needle. Then after that, place the beak where you want it to go. I want mine to be right here. And then just start sewing it on with a little whip stitch, or whatever it is called. When you are done sewing it on, make sure to tie a couple knots just so it doesn't become loose in the future. When you're done tying the knots, just take your needle through, and then I like to put mine through the bottom where the neck is, where like you can see the stuffing. Just like this. And then just stuff it back in with all the rest of the polyfill. Then after that, we get to add on his little eyes. I like to place mine in their holes before I put the backings on them, just so I know that they are exactly where I want them to be. So I have decided that this is a great place to put the sai, so I will just make sure that there's no stuffing right in front of the little piece, and then just put the backing onto the eye, just so he doesn't, fall out. Then you'll just place the other eye on the other side. And then after that, this part is optional, but I like to add little eye whites, or just like little detailing with the white yarn. So grab a long piece of white yarn and stick it through the yarn needle. Then from the open piece of the head, I will just stick the needle up by the eyes. I like to go a little bit higher than the middle of the eye, like this. Pull it through, but not all the way, so we can tie it off later. And then just stick the needle through the bottom piece like this. And then I like to do that a couple times per eye. And this is about what they should look like when you're done. And then after that, all that is left to do with the eye whites is to tie off this little piece. So grab the 2 ends of yarn and then just tie them like 2 or 3 times. Then after that, just stick them into the stuffing, and you'll be ready to continue on making the Psyduck. Continuing on from the head, we are going to start off with an increase. So place 2 single crochet inside the next stitch. Like this, 1, 2, and then place 1 single crochet in the next stitch. Again, make an increase, 2 single crochet, and then 1 single crochet. You will repeat this increase and single crochet pattern until you have 18 stitches in the row. Now it's time for row 16. So switch your stitch marker and then make another increase. So place 2 single crochet inside the same stitch, then place 1 single crochet inside the next 2 stitches. You will repeat this increase and 2 single crochet pattern until you have 24 stitches in the row. Once you are done, it is time for row 17. So make an increase, 2 single crochet inside the same stitch, and then place 1 single crochet inside the next 3 stitches. One more time, make an increase, and then place 1 single crochet inside the next 3 stitches. You'll repeat this increase and 3 single crochet pattern until you have 30 stitches in the row. That's the end of row 17. For row 18, once again, like always, we start with an increase. So place 2 single crochet in the same stitch, and then place 1 single crochet in the next 4 stitches. Once again, make an increase, and then place 1 single crochet in the next 4 stitches. At the end, you should have 36 stitches in the row. And this is what it should look like when you are done. Now for rows 19 through 24, you are just going to place 1 single crochet inside of each of the stitches in the rows. So this is what the end of row 19 should look like. And then this is what the end of row 24 should look like. Continuing on to row 25, you're going to start off with a decrease. So grab the first 2 front loops of the next 2 stitches and single crochet with them. And then you will place 1 single crochet in the next 4 stitches. 2, 3, 4. Once again, make a decrease, so grab the first 2 front loops and single crochet with them, and then just place 1 single crochet in the next 4 stitches. You'll repeat this pattern until you have 30 stitches in the row. This is what it should look like when you are done. For row 26, you are once again going to start off with a decrease, so grab the first 2 front loops, and then single crochet with them, and then you are going to single crochet in the next 3 stitches. Once again, make a decrease, and then place 3 single crochet. Once you are done, you should have 24 stitches in the row. And this is what it should look like when you are done. For row 27, guess what? Once again, start off with the decrease. So grab the first 2 front loops and single crochet with them, and then just place 1 single crochet in the next 2 stitches. Once again, make a decrease, and then place 2 single crochet. At the end, you should have 18 stitches in the row. And this is what it should look like when you are done. For row 28, like all the others, we are going to start off with a decrease. So grab the first 2 front loops and single crochet with them. Then after that, you are going to place a single crochet, then a decrease, and then a single crochet. You will repeat this decrease and single crochet pattern until you have only 12 stitches in the row. And that is the end of row 28. Now before we get on 29, we had to stuff him. So grab your little stuffing, polyfill, whatever you are using, and just stuff the body, like how you did to the head. Here's me just about to finish stuffing the body, and then squishing him a little bit, and this is about what your Psyduck should look like. Now we get to work on the last row, which is row 29. So grab your hook again, and then for this row, it is just 6 decreases. So 6 times you'll be grabbing the first 2 front loops and single crocheting with them. And then this is what it should look like. Now all we have to do is cut off a long tail, and then just tie it off with a few knots. Make sure to put the yarn through the first front loops of the last row that we just did before you tie the knots. And then the knot I like to do when I finish this off is the same one that I did when I finished off tying the beak. And then once you are done, this is what your little guy should look like. Next, we are going to work on his arms. So grab yellow yarn, and then make a magic ring, and then put 6 single crochet inside of the magic ring. And once you are done with those single crochet in the magic ring, that is the end of your row 1. For row 2, we are going to place 6 increases. So in each of the 6 stitches, place 2 single crochet. Once you are done, you should have 12 stitches in the row. And this is what it should look like when you are done with row 2. For rows 3 and 4, we are just going to place 1 single crochet inside of each of the stitches. So row 3 has 12 single crochet, and then row 4 also has 12 single crochet. This is the end of row 3, and then this is the end of row 4. For row 5, make an increase, and then make a single crochet. Once again, make an increase, and then a single crochet. You'll repeat this increase and single crochet pattern until you have 18 stitches in the row. And this is what it should look like when you are done with row 5. For rows 6 through 9, you're just going to place 1 single crochet inside of each stitch in the row. So 6 through 9, they all have 18 single crochet. So this is what you should have at the end of row 6, and this is what you should have at the end of row 9. Now we only have one more row to do, which is row 10. To start off, make a decrease, so grab the first 2 front loops and single crochet with them, and then make 1 single crochet. Once again, make a decrease and then a single crochet. You will repeat this pattern until you have 12 stitches in the row. And this is what you should have at the end. Now, cut off a long tail so you can sew it onto the body, and then pull the tail through, and make 1 more wing. And now I'm going to show you how I like to sew on the wing, just so that he is still able to flap his wings. You don't have to do it this way, this is just how I do it. I start off by flattening the top of the wings with a whip stitch, and then after that, I will just sew onto the body. I will speed this part up, but hopefully keep it slow enough so you can see what I'm doing. Just cut off any excess yarn, and then this is what it should look like when he has his wing sewn on. Once again, make another wing, and sew it on to the other side. After that, we are going to get started working on the feet. So grab your Aran or a light brown yarn, and start making 4 foundation single crochets. The way that we are making the feet is very, very similar to the way that we made the beak. This means that after we are done with round 1, instead of turning the piece, we are just going to be flipping it around and working in a round. With this, I have finished row 1. For row 2, we are going to get to the top, crochet into it, and then place 4 single crochet. 2, 3, 4, and then this little loop, we are going to place an increase. So 2 single crochet inside of it. Then after that, place 4 more single crochet, and then 1 more increase. And that will be the end of row 2. For row 3, we are going to repeat that same row, but instead of 4, it'll be 5 single crochet. So make 5 single crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then place an increase, and then 5 single crochet, and then another increase. And with that, we will have finished row 3. For rows 4 through 6, we are just going to single crochet around. So place 1 single crochet in every stitch in the row. This is about what it looks like when you are done with row 4. And then this is what it looks like when you are done with row 6. Now you just need to cut off a long tail and pull that tail through, and then make one more foot so we can sew it onto the bottom of the Psyduck. This is about the position that I put my feet on the Psyduck. Of course you can do it however you want, but this is just what I think looks best. And this is what the feet look like on my Psyduck when I am done sewing them on. Now we get to work on making his little tail. To start off, grab your yellow yarn, make a magic ring, and then place 6 single crochet inside of the magic ring. Close off the magic ring, and then for row 2, we are going to place 1 single crochet inside of each of the stitches. So at the end, you will have 6 single crochet in the row. And then pop out the little bottom. That is the end of row 2. For row 3, you are going to make 6 increases, so place 2 single crochet inside of each of the 6 stitches. At the end, you should have 12 stitches in the row. And this is what it should look like when you're done with row 3. For row 4 and the final row, we are just going to place 1 single crochet in each of the 12 stitches. So row 4 is your final row. And then when you are done, you're going to cut off a long tail. And then you can stuff the tail if you want, or you don't have to since it's really small. And then you could sew it onto the butt of the Psyduck. Around right here is where I usually put mine. And when you are done sewing on the tail, don't forget to tie a couple knots just so he doesn't become loose in the future. Then you can stick the needle through the body, and then cut off any excess yarn that may or may not be there when you are done. Like here, there is excess yarn, so I will just cut this off and throw it into my stuffing bag. And this is what my Psyduck looks like when his tail is sewn on. Now we only have one more part left to make up the Psyduck, and that's his little hairs. So for his hairs, you're going to make 3 separate pieces. I will show you each one individually. So this is the middle piece. Start by chaining 5, and then in the second chain from the hook, you're going to start placing slip stitches. Since you made 5 chains, you're going to make 4 slip stitches. And then you are just going to cut off a long tail so you can sew it onto the head. Now for the other 2 hairs, which both have the same pattern, grab your black yarn again, chain 4, and because you chain 4, you get to make 3 slip stitches. So insert your hook into the second chain from the hook and start slip stitching. And just like that, you were done with the first little hair. Cut it free, pull the loop through, and then I will show you how to make it again. It is the same pattern though. So make a slip knot, chain 4, insert your hook into the second chain from the hook, and then make 3 slip stitches. And with that, you are done making the hairs on Psyduck. Once you cut this guy free, you are ready to sew on his hairs. So grab your yarn needle, and I like to start with the biggest hair, which is the first one we made. Is the middle guy. Just make sure you know where you want to put it, and then you just sew it on. It might be a little trickier than it is to sew on the bigger items, but I believe in you. Just see what I am doing. I will speed it up, but still keep it slow enough to where you can clearly see what I am doing. And then I like to tie the 2 end pieces together a few times, just so that the hair stays secure. And then, similarly to everything else, I like to stick the needle through the head, or whatever piece I'm working on, with both ends, and then just cut off any excess yarn. With that, you have finished sewing on the first little hair, and now you just need to grab the other 2, and sew them on right next to each other. And then this is what your Psyduck should look like when you are done making him. I hope this tutorial was easy to follow. And if you really liked it, I plan to make more in the future, so make sure to like and subscribe.